Yes, ladies and gentlemen, episode 71 of the Journey's anime titled Let's Go! Project Mew just dropped, and in this first episode of Project Mew, a goal that'll most likely be an overarching storyline for Go's development going forward, we start off with a trial to see if Go is eligible to be part of Project Mew. How will he do? Well, let's find out. The episode begins with Go getting an email from Project Mew to meet them at their lab at the base of Mount Coronet. Our heroes reach the base and they find Gary there talking to one of the people, and as Gary comes in, he antagonizes Go by saying it seems even weak trainers can try out for Project Mew with Oak's recommendation before telling him to do his best. Gary is awesome here. They go into the lab where they meet the leader of Project Mew, Haruka, and they also meet Asahi, the girl that Gary was talking to before. She tells them about Project Mew, and here's the gist of it. This search is going to take place in Table Mountain in a 1-week period between rainy and dry season because otherwise it gets way too foggy to explore. Project Mew is going to have a 5-man chase team. Asahi is one of them, as well as a guy named Tsurugi. The people chosen are done through challenges or trial. These trials are meant to test the trainer's knowledge, battle ability, capture ability, as well as the ability to work with others. And the remaining 3 people, since they already have 2, will be chosen by having the most tokens. So whoever has the most tokens from doing challenges is going to be part of Project Mew. She also says that Ash is allowed to help even though he himself isn't participating in Project Mew. Once they get all the information, they find out that the lab that Project Mew is on wasn't actually a lab, but rather a giant helicopter. So they were already on their way to have Go do their first trial. Go's mission here is to find an Alolan Ninetales in Mount Coronet. You might be wondering, well, that's weird, why is there a Alolan Ninetales in Mount Coronet in Sinnoh? Well, as we find out later, it's because Pokemon hunters were trying to take this Alolan Ninetales somewhere, but their helicopter crashed in Mount Coronet, so now the Alolan Ninetales is in a place where it's at least some sort of familiar. That's why, once our heroes find Alolan Ninetales, it's immediately aggressive towards them, using Ice Beam before using Blizzard. And the blizzard is so strong that both of our heroes pass out in the ice and later wake up around a campfire. It seems that they were saved by Suguri, who tells Go that he's disqualified because if he didn't save him, he and his Pokemon would have died. And this is also where they learn why the Alolan Ninetales was so aggressive towards them. Then, after the blizzard has passed over, even though Tsurugi tells Go to give up, Go says that he still has time, so he's gonna still try to capture this Alolan Ninetales and help take it back to Mount Lanakila. And after a bit of searching in a mountain that kinda looks like Mount Lanakila, they find it again. This time, he brings out his Cinderace to fight him. It's a back and forth battle between the 2 Pokemon, but eventually Go gets a nice little Pyro Ball in and is about to capture Alolan Ninetales when all of a sudden, a Ice Beam hits a Pokeball. Turns out, Regice is here. And all of a sudden now, Go has to deal with both Regice and Alolan Ninetales. Or does he? Nope. Ash is going to take Regice so that Go can focus on capturing Alolan Ninetales. So while Ash is fighting Regice, instead of Go trying to just battle it, he decides to talk to the Ninetales, and eventually he gets through to it, and the Ninetales allows him to capture it, and he does. Ash is kind of struggling with Regice when Tsurugi steps in. He has a single strike Urshifu as his partner Pokemon, and he KOs this Regice with 1 wicked blow. This dude is super powerful. They head back to the lab where they learn that this mission wasn't actually a trial or a challenge. This mission was to see if Go would be accepted as a candidate to take the trial. And the episode ends with Go asking Professor Haruka about what Tsurugi said about Regice being a key to learn about Pokemon history, and then Haruka saying that they'll look at his data at the base of the mountain. This was a good episode to set the stage for Project Mew. We learn about the place they're gonna find Mew, we learn how they're gonna search for it, who's involved, and why. I'm excited to see who else is going to be part of this because there's still 1 more space remaining. Right now it's probably gonna be Go and Gary, but we don't know who the 3rd is gonna be unless they just make it Ash, which would be kinda boring. As far as the characters go, Tsurugi seems like your typical shonen strong guy. Tough exterior, but he still has a nice personality, but he's a bit boring. Meanwhile, Asahi seems to have a bit more personality to her. Their leader, Professor Haruka, has your typical bad guy movie look, but he also has a Mime Jr. as his partner Pokemon, so how evil can he really be? The thing that would make him evil is how reckless and unsafe this Project Mew can be. They just took guys that they didn't know they were going to be immediately flown to the top of Mount Coronet to do a mission where they could potentially die to a blizzard. Shouldn't you let them go get prepared by allowing them to go get their Pokemon? Like, Go has a Darmanitan. I'm sure he would love to use that Pokemon in this snowy environment. But then again, maybe not, because Suguri's right there as well, because he's not there early on, but then he shows up to save our heroes. And then later, when our heroes have to fight Regice, he helps there, and it's not like he does anything else. He's there just to capture the Alolan Ninetales, just like our heroes. So maybe they sent in Suguri as backup, just in case things went wrong. They trust him enough to get out of there properly. Now, that's just a nitpick on my end, but something that wasn't a nitpick that I saw people complain about on Twitter, and I honestly should get out of Anti-Poke Twitter because it feels so toxic, is people being upset that Ash somehow didn't one-shot Regice or at least beat him just because he's done it in the past. First of all, he didn't really lose to Regice. He was merely just being pushed back, and yeah, he was in the floor, but both him and his Pikachu looked perfectly fine and probably could have continued battling if they wanted to. The thing is, Suguri stepped in, and that's the more important part. It provides more questions to Suguri when he's able to bring out his Urshifu. So it's important in his character development so that he's not just a bland strong guy. It provides mystery. How did he get an Urshifu? If he has that Pokemon, what else strong Pokemon does he have? It gives him mystery and questions beyond just, this guy is strong. Now, what I do have a bit of an issue with is just Regice. Why was Regice there? I'll tell you why. I have a theory that Regice was there just to be a trailer Pokemon. He was there so they could have that admittedly cool shot of Urshifu hitting Regice, but as far as the story went, Regice contributed zero to the plot. It's kind of a wasted use of a legendary. But admittedly, what I do and don't like a plot also correlates with how cool the battle was, and in this case, Urshifu's Wicked Blow looked awesome, so I'm willing to forgive that. Other than that, this was a pretty good episode. It did everything it needed to in order to set up Project Mew. It set up question, intrigue, and some excitement for the future. Overall, an Ultra Ball episode. The next episode is the type of Pokemon episode I enjoy, when our heroes and Team Rocket are all scrambled and they all have to work together to get out of a sticky situation. It always involves hijinks and allows the personality of everyone to shine through, so I can't wait. But anyways, that is it for my review of episode 71 of the Journeys anime. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, like, share, subscribe. In the comments, let me know your thoughts on this episode. You can follow me on Twitter @TheRealPDGaming, and that's it. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.